In this video, we're going to talk about the law of demand. So the law of demand says that all other things held equal, if there's an increase in the price of a good or service, that's going to cause a decrease in the quantity demanded of that good or service. And conversely, if the price of a good or service goes down, if it decreases, people are going to demand more of the good, right? So if your favorite pair of shoes, if it goes on sale and there's a decrease in price, people are going to want to demand and buy more of it, right? So another way of thinking about it is you could say other things being equal, ceteris paribus, as the price of a good rises, people are going to buy less of it. And as the price of a good falls, people are going to buy more of it. Now, there are certain exceptions. There's these things called Giffen Goods and stuff. But this is such a frequent relationship that we see in actual practice that we actually call it a law. We call it the law of demand. So I want to show you how we would map this out. And I'm going to show you a thing called the demand schedule. So let's think about the demand for chocolate bars. Let's think about your personal demand for chocolate bars, actually. So I'm hoping you like chocolate. And so let's say that the price, if the price of chocolate bars, you go to the store and the price of chocolate bars is $1 or €1, whatever your currency is, you would be willing to buy 10 chocolate bars. So that would be your quantity demanded. So let me put here, this is your quantity demanded. At the price of $1 or €1, whatever, you would want to buy 10 chocolate bars. Now, if you went to the store and instead the price was $2 or €2, you would instead want to buy 8 chocolate bars, because now you're saying that, hey, now there's a higher price. It's $2 instead of $1. So I still like chocolate bars, but I'm not going to buy 10, right? So I'm going to buy 8. So we can think about, well, what if the price were to go up to $3? Or what if the price went to $4 or $5? And we could map out the amount, the quantity of chocolate bars that you would demand, that you would want to buy at each price. We could go through the different prices and say, and now what we're going to see is that the quantity that you demand is going to go down. It's going to go down as the price increases. So as the price goes from $1 to $2 to all the way up to $5, now at $5 you say, look, I really like chocolate bars, but for $5 a piece, I really would only get 2 of them. And so what we can do now that we have this what we call a demand schedule, now that we have that demand schedule, we can actually create a graph that would show your demand, right? So we can put P, price, on the y-axis, and then quantity demanded, Q, on the x-axis. And you'll see this very commonly in economics. So we can go and say, okay, at $1, at a price of $1, you demand 10. So we'll just plot a little point there. We'll say, okay, that's at 1 and 10. Now, at $2, you would demand 8 chocolate bars. And then at $3, you would demand 6 chocolate bars. And at $4, you would demand 4 chocolate bars. And at $5, you would demand just 2 chocolate bars. Now, you notice something. This is your demand curve. This is your demand curve. Let's make sure that's a straight line there in this case. It doesn't have to be a straight line, but in this example it is. And so what you see, and when you study economics, you'll see this. Someone will say, oh, why don't you plot the demand curve? And the demand curve is going to be downward sloping. Right? So we have a downward sloping demand curve. And what does that reflect? That reflects our law of demand. And that is that as the price of this good, so in this case chocolate bars, as the price increases from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, you are demanding less and less. We want fewer and fewer chocolate bars that you are willing to buy. So that's the law of demand. Now we'll talk about in future videos what can happen. There could be a change in preferences. There could be something happen that makes you want chocolate bars even more. Maybe your favorite musician starts eating chocolate and you think, that's the cool thing to do. And we could have where we actually have a shift. We have a shift in the demand curve. And so now we have to draw a new demand curve, right? And we'll talk about that in videos to come.